Cyclists just coming out of every bloody which way other than which they should be. So, hey guys. Welcome to the video. You're joining me on another Super73 Explore video. And while we're so early in the video, why not give me a like, subscribe and share? But anyway, so today we're heading to Hyde Park, and specifically the Serpentine, because it's quite nice and sunny and warm. I mean, it's actually not warm right here in the shade, but yeah, I thought it would be nice to head down to some water while we've got like nice warm weather. But while we're actually on Oxford Street, there was a story that broke. So if you're not in the UK, you're watching from abroad, we had our local elections across the UK, was it last week? And this area, Oxford Street, this street is in Westminster, and Westminster Council was run by the local Labour Party, and it's now, after the votes, the local Conservative Party got back in power, and apparently one of their first statements was they're going to block Sadiq Khan's plan to pedestrianise Oxford Street. So from Oxford Circus, where we started off the video, to the end of this road, which is Marble Arch, will be pedestrianised. Well, actually, it doesn't go right to the end. It goes near to where the Marks and Spencer's is. I think it ends just west of Selfridges, which is on the right here with the yellow flags. But pedestrianisation of Oxford Street has been a conversation. There's been a thing for donkey's years, and Sadiq Khan, I believe he and his team had created a development company, and they're really serious about doing this. Last year they had an event where the section of street they planned to pedestrianise was pedestrianised just for a day, and they had loads of events going on, the NBA, H&M, there were so many things. There were bars, there were places you could sit and eat. So imagine this road all the way from the pavement on the left, from the shops on the left, all the way to the shops on the right, pedestrianised, and there's more space for pedestrians to use. And so the Tory local run council has decided that they want to take legal action, and so they're going to use taxpayers' money to fight a legal battle, opposed to just use that money for whatever services are needed for this local area. I mean, in reality, pedestrianisation means that I wouldn't actually be able to use that section of Oxford Street, because they also plan that there won't be any access for bicycles. So sometimes pedestrian zones in the UK are shared spaces, so you can cycle along them as well. But it's considerate cycling. Oh, Jaguar Mark II. So yeah, they plan to do that. They want to do that. And I hope that they fail in their plan to try and stop the pedestrianisation. I think there's this idea that with some people, and I'd say it's because car ownership, mass car ownership became a thing that's been marketed And it's become a part of our culture that, you know, driving should be a priority. But then there's this whole thing of the idea that, oh, you know, if people can't drive to places, like right past them, they just won't go there. They'll lose money, they won't make any money. But you know what? My dad, I was telling him about this pond, really big pond, near to Crystal Palace. And my dad has driven past this place hundreds, maybe thousands of times in my lifetime, and he didn't know it. He wasn't aware of it. He thought it was a new thing, and I was like, no, it's really old. And you know, I think personally that actually pedestrians and cyclists are more the types of people who see these sorts of things. So anyway, not sure what that guy's problem was, but I feel that it's pedestrians that are the ones who actually go into these places, see these places, and they're moving slow enough to see them. They're moving slow enough to stop and then browse in them. It's not car drivers, and the reality is actually Oxford Street doesn't actually have access for cars. It is virtually just buses and taxis, and occasionally cyclists as well. There used to be loads and loads of buses, too many buses on Oxford Street, and it was actually counterintuitive because it used to take so long to get along the street because he had so many buses on it. The thing is as well, Oxford Street has Oxford, it has Tottenham Court Road at the east end, the very east of the road. It then has Oxford Circus, Bond Street, and then Marble Arch. So it is served by four stations. I don't know which tube lines. I think the Central line is one of the lines that goes through Oxford Street. The Elizabeth line stops at Bond Street and Tottenham Court Road. So it's quite well served in that sense. And so an argument that is often used is like, oh, elderly people, disabled people. But the thing is that Oxford Street is going to have roads. It has roads that cross over it. And some of them are still going to have access across Oxford Street. So there will be like a section of Oxford Street, which is pedestrianised, and then you will meet a road that goes across it. And these are points where if you needed to get a black cab, you would have like a pickup point. They'd be able to stop and let you off, or you'd be picked up. And then there is a road that runs parallel. It doesn't run the full length, but it does run the full length of the pedestrianised section of Oxford Street. So it's not like there's no parallel road that the buses can run along, and then you can walk a short distance. And something that my dad said is when you go to Oxford Street is like a mile long, maybe slightly more. I think it might actually be more than a mile long. The amount of walking that you do inside of the stores to each store. And so when people talk about the disabled and elderly, my dad is like, if you can't, the amount of walking you would do, you would generally be quite fit. And that, because Oxford Street, if it was a shopping mall, it would be really, really big. But it doesn't have that many dining options. So I think something that will be nice is you can then have eateries in the middle of the street. You can have alfresco dining. I know this would be quite like a summer thing, but maybe also you can have some structures that are quite enclosed, so they can be used all throughout the year. But anyway, I've been going on about Oxford Street for the longest. So yeah, this is the Serpentine to our left. And I think when I was very little, I think there were times when me, my mum, my dad, before my brother was born in 1991, we had gone on these boats. I don't think it would have been the pedalers, it would have been the rowing boats. I'm pretty sure we definitely did at Battersea, because Battersea's got a lake where you could go rowing. And my dad used to like to rock the boat for some reason and frighten me to death. But if you ever come to London, you ever visit, I would recommend, especially in the summer, I would recommend coming down to the Serpentine. I would actually get a lot closer to the water, but I think that I might scare people, because generally the image of people on this type of bike is people who steal phones. So there are times when I'm in areas where there are pedestrians with their phone out and they see me coming along, and they quickly pull their phone in. I'm like, nah, I'm not interested in that. And actually, like this guy on the skateboard, you'll see people like that, and earlier you might have spotted a guy on the rollerblades or the roller skates. That's the other sort of thing that you'll see along this section of the Serpentine in Hyde Park. But that was the Serpentine, and now I'm gonna love and leave you guys. But again, if you've enjoyed this video, you've enjoyed this journey, and I know you could have been anywhere, please give me a like, subscribe and share, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.